The Memorial Association plaque in the vestibule of the hospital has inscribed, "This hospital was planned and built under the supervision and direction of the following joint committee of the James Whitcomb Riley Memorial Association and the Board of Trustees of Indiana University, and represents the individual gifts of more than 45,000 donors." Hugh McLandon, president, was the first president of the James Whitcomb Riley Memorial Association from 1921 to 1947. He was a banker, businessman, and philanthropist. Landon was one of the largest donors for the Riley Hospital Building Fund, and his support helped finance the construction of the new Indiana University School of Medicine building, now known as Emerson Hall. The building's opening in 1919 provided desperately needed medical student education during a significant moment in history. William Lowe Bryan was president of Indiana University. He was Indiana University's 10th president. He was president for 35 years. Before that, he served as vice president for 9 years. He earned his PhD in psychology. He helped organize the American Psychological Association. His most notable accomplishment was the expansion of graduate and professional training. During his administration, schools of medicine, education, nursing, business, music, and dentistry were established. George A. Ball. The Ball family has been famous for both its financial and philanthropic generosity. The family began their philanthropic relationship with the IUPUI campus in 1925, when they funded the construction of Ball Residence Hall as a home for the nurses of Riley Hospital and the Indiana University Training School for Nurses. George was the youngest of 5 brothers. The brothers owned the Ball Glass Manufacturing Company in Muncie, Indiana. Benjamin F. Long was a trustee of Indiana University from 1915 to 1935 and served as president for many years. He was an attorney by profession. Judge Ira Coleman Batman was the person who prepared the resolution and drew up the agreement that allowed the Joint Executive Committee to come to fruition. Dr. C.B. McCulloch. He was a doctor and politician. He served as a doctor in World War I at Base Hospital 32 in France. From 1934 to 1948, he was vice president and medical director for State Life Insurance Company of Indianapolis. William C. Bobbs was the president of the publishing company Bobbs Merrill Company until 1926. His name was included in the company name in 1903. One of the authors that helped the company become a national publisher was James Whitcomb Riley. Dr. Lafayette Page. He was an otolaryngologist and professor at the IU School of Medicine. He also suggested Riley Hospital should be built in memory of James Whitcomb Riley. Dr. Page served during World War I at the Colonel Eli Lilly Memorial Red Cross Hospital, also known as the United States Army Base Hospital 32. His research and knowledge helped develop an adequate remedy that led to a marked decrease in the serious effect of gas burns and gas poisons on Allied troops. His distinguished service in the treatment of gas cases won him recognition throughout the French and Allied medical services, as well as the American Expeditionary Forces. James W. Fessler was an attorney and member of the IU Board of Trustees from 1902 to 1936. He served as vice president of the board for 3 years and president for 17 years. A laboratory science building in Indianapolis is named for him. Dr. Samuel E. Smith. Dr. Smith was medical provost of Indiana University. He was the general superintendent in charge of Riley Hospital when it first opened. He was provost for 5 years and vice president of the Indiana University Board of Trustees for 6 years. He was considered an authority on mental illness. Louis C. Hussman. He was the founder, president, and general manager of Central Supply Company. In addition to serving on the executive committee for the James Whitcomb Riley Memorial Association, he was also one of the incorporators of the association. He also has a stained glass window with his name in the original lobby of the hospital. Arthur V. Brown was an attorney and banker. He served as vice president of Union Trust Company for 1 year and president for 26 years. He was also a board member of Indiana Methodist Hospital for 20 years. He was treasurer of James Whitcomb Riley Memorial Association. James W. Carr. In 1937, James W. Carr resigned his position as secretary for the Chamber of Commerce to devote all his time to the position of secretary of the Joint Executive Committee of the James Whitcomb Riley Hospital and the Riley Memorial Association. Carr had been secretary of the association since 1922.